Hey guys, it's Purple here, and I'm going to be the English voice for this video here, which deals with the revolutionary topic of AP Alistar. Okay, so let's start out with a few pros and cons for the legendary AP Alistar pick. His first pro would be his mid-game power spike, since he's basically able to nearly one-hit someone, and around the mid-game is just a lot tankier than the rest of the champs. Which means, or what means, that he basically kind of denies damage of the enemy too. Followed by his level 3 power spike, because his W damage basically doubles when you skill it the second time, and you can work with it nice. Okay, you can work nice around it with Mag Pen runes. Another thing is his roaming potential, since he was made as a support. That means he has a lot of CC in his kit, and he has nice counter gank potential. You can just W someone away, headbutt someone away. That is followed by his natural tankiness, just his ult and E. That's kind of self-explaining. Another thing is his nice and safe laning phase. It's really hard to kill an Alistar. You can just constantly heal up, headbutt someone away when you don't want to fight, or just Q them, ult, followed by his safe and nice mid and late game, because like I earlier mentioned, you're just basically to nearly one-hit someone, or maybe one-hit someone if you're fat enough. The next thing is a cheesy pick. This can be seen as a pro or as a con. I'm going to talk about it as a con later on. The pro aspect of the cheesy pick is just that a few of the enemies, or your mid lane enemy or top lane enemy, might just underestimate you and think, oh, AP Alistar or Alistar, easy lane, and he does not expect anything from you. Oh, that's basically it. Another thing is he can be used as an engage or split push tool. Engaging is kind of self-explaining, and split pushing is because you have nice one-on-one, a lot of damage with your combo. You are quite tanky, and you can just decide if you want to fight him or not here again with your W. And you can win a lot of time if they actually come with a few more people for you. You can win a lot of time for your team. So that would be it for the pros, I think. And now let's go on to the cons. So he has bad defensive clear. He has nice offensive clear, because when, okay, let me speak about it a little bit. He has nice offensive clear because when you are ahead or when you're not behind, you can use your clear without getting punished really hard for it. But once you kind of get behind them, or maybe just getting sieged by a few more enemies, you can't just run into them and use your Q to clear the wave. It would be a little bit unfortunate. So another thing is he can be easily denied. Well, if they have a Vayne or something like that, she can just E while you start your combo. A Vayne and Ezreal. I don't know if it works with Ezreal, but for example, a Vayne. It means starting animations or using animations once you start yours. Another thing is he's really predictable, since he has only one combo. And okay, you can kind of change it a little bit, but that's with your flash, and it's not really worth it. So another thing is, the next thing is, like I said, he can be team reliant. It depends on whether the enemy has banshees on important targets or not, because you can have a lot of problems with just popping the banshees. Well, I mean, you can flash into your enemy, use E for your passive, and then use your combo, but like I said, yeah, it's most of the time you just won't have up your flash every time you are going to fight. So like I said, you will probably need your team's help. Another thing is it's more of a team rank thing, because it's hard to play a meta combo around Alistar, since the basic meta isn't a tanky top laner, a tanky mid laner. The tankiness is more like on the top laner or the jungler. But that's maybe a positive thing. You can see it as a strength of the AP Alistar. He, like I mentioned earlier, he has natural tankiness, which means that you could use a little bit a few of the stronger picks, which are more squishy, like Kindred or Gangplank. Opens up a few new paths. They are not the perfect meta example, but they're still okay. It's still kind of good. Another con is, again, it's a cheesy pick, and like I said, it can be positive in a way it works on your enemies, but it can be negative in the way your mates will act when they see the AP Alistar locked in. I mean, you can calm them down, but you don't know. Maybe they just think you're a troll. It's solo queue. It's solo queue. Yeah, everyone knows it. What can happen? And the last thing is his relatively high cooldown reduction, but he works a little bit around it with his ult. I mean, when he uses his combo, he needs a lot of time to come back again with it or to use it again, but like we said, or like I said, he can work around it with his natural tankiness. Okay, so that would be it for the part of the pros and cons, and we see us in the next part. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, what am I supposed to build? What am I supposed to do? And I want to become the one and only true legendary AP Alistar mid lane main. So, when it comes down to your boots, you should be getting straight up Macros pen boots, but you can consider getting cooldown reduction boots if you need your flash a lot. If you need it to achieve anything in a fight, get cooldown reduction boots. And now let's talk about the normal build, or the normal items, if you can call it normal. So the first thing is Rod of Ages. You want to buy it, it helps you out in lane because of the defensive build way or the defensive stats. The power spike of Rod of Ages comes in handy around the time you have your power spike and you want to have it, and it gives you a lot of AP. That's important too because you're building around your burst damage. The next thing is Abyssal or Void stuff. Depends on the amount of magic resistance your enemy is getting. If it's too much to achieve something with flat macros, you should be getting Void stuff and not Abyssal Scepter. And we will, I don't know, just show you a little picture of the amount of macros that is too high for getting Abyssal Scepter. The next thing is Rabadons. Here again, it just helps you out with your burst damage because it gives you a lot of AP, again, with its passive in addition to that. And then you have Realize. It is an awesome item too. It gives a lot of AP and tankiness. And then kind of see how it slows the enemies, which makes it harder to get away from you. The last item is Zhonya's, Liandry's, or Ludin's Echo. That depends on the situation you are in. If you have a lot of problems with AD, or if you have problems with AD, or you just want to go, I don't know, the safer way against a fat AD enemy or something like that, get Zhonya's. If the enemy is actually stupid enough to don't buy any or nearly nothing, when it comes down to don't buy anything or nearly nothing, when it comes down to magic resistance, you should be getting Liandry's. It has a nice amount of flat armor pen, yeah. Nice amount of flat magic resistance, penetration. That's kind of handy, comes in handy. And if everything goes normal, you just want to get Ludin's Echo. And know a few interesting facts, if I can call it like that. So the first fact would be, once you are level 18 and you use your combo on a normal enemy, not something like a full AP tank or full dude with magic resistance, you should be dealing something around 1527 damage. And here another tip for your build. Who would have thought? If you have really a lot of problems with AD, or it's just a full AD team, you can consider changing the Abyssal Scepter or Void Staff with Zonias and then getting Leandris or Ludens later on. That was it for the build.